Washington State is north of USA. It is bordered by Oregon to the south and borders Idaho to the east. Washington is south of the Canadian province and a part of a region known as the Pacific Northwest. It is named after George Washington, the first president of the United States, and it's the only US state named after a president. There are many hills in Washington and a mountain range that goes from north to south and splits the state. The mountain range Cascade has several volcanoes who are much higher than other hills. From north to south are these volcanoes: Mount Baker, Glacier Peak, Mount Rainier, Mount Helens, and Mount Adams. Mount Rainier is the highest volcano in the state, covered with snow on the top.
Washington's climate is mild in the summer and winter. Sometimes it can get really wet in the winter, but in the summer very dry and stale. There are also some areas with desert in Washington. The biggest city in Washington is Seattle. Its nickname is the Evergreen State. Washington's population is almost 6,800,000 people, and the name of the governor is Jay Inslee. The state is the biggest producer of apples, lentils, dry edible peas, hops, pears, red raspberries, and sweet cherries, and ranks high in production of apricots, asparagus, and grapes.
Before the European explorers arrived to Washington, there lived several Indian tribes. The first European in Washington was the Spanish captain Don Bruno de Heceta in 1775, who took over the place. Also, the British explorers were in Washington, but later in 1819, Spain declared its first demands of the area to USA. This was the beginning of a period of arguments between the United States and Britain, but it ended when the United States was given the area. By 1850, more than 1,000 people lived in Washington. This led to the creation of the Washington Territory in 1853. The 11th of November 1889, were the 42-state Washington admitted to the Union.
The area was originally called Columbia after the Columbian River. The area was renamed Washington to avoid confusion with the District of Columbia. Washington is the 18th most extensive and the 13th most populous of the 50 United States. Approximately 60% of Washington's residents live in Seattle city area, the center of transportation, business, and industry.